The first hidden concept that's missing in The Secret is the following, and I want you to write this down right now. Your entrepreneurial balance sheet. Your entrepreneurial balance sheet. Now, you might be saying, Glenn, what do you mean by that? Let me share with you this right now. I fully believe that all of you are on this earth for a purpose. A purpose to solve a very specific problem or problems in the world that are associated with your passion and or associated with what you've learned through the school of hard knocks. So write this down right now, your entrepreneurial balance sheet. It's really critical that you understand that this is absolutely fundamental, and what's missing in The Secret is not just this, I'm going to attract something into my life. You want to make sure that first of all that what you attract is associated with who you are. And secondly, this whole idea that you have what other people want, you need to identify who they are. So here's how you go about doing that right now from the Author and Grow Rich system. First of all, I want you to write this down again because you know that writing is the doing part of thinking. It has to do with theories of learning. Now, Don Wolfe, who's a change expert, has this to say. He divides learning into two categories. One, he calls informational learning. It's very much the way the school system is set up. In fact, I was guilty of it to a certain degree when I was an educator. It sounds like this. Glenn, I want you to take notes here. Glenn, listen to this. Glenn, it's time to take a test. Glenn, do this, do this, do this. I'm sure all of you can relate. The second type of learning, according to Don Wolfe, is as follows. He mentions this whole idea of transformational learning. That is, basically, Glenn, lie down on the couch, and we're going to help pull it out of you. In other words, it's learning that comes more from the heart, where the other type of learning was learning that comes from the head. Now, to a certain degree, I believe in transformational learning. However, I want you to understand this right now, that you only see what you know. You only see what you know. I can run down and take a look at the Blue Water Bridge very near our house here that spans Sarnia, Ontario, and Port Huron, Michigan, and I'm only going to see a bridge, I guess, physical thing that goes over the St. Clair River. However, when I bring my engineering friends, they'll all of a sudden start talking about loads. They'll start talking about span. They'll start talking about all kinds of things that I didn't even consider, and I call them things because right now that's what they are. They're entities until they explain to me what they are. Now all of a sudden I see new things that I never saw before. The second type of learning, and it comes from the research from Dr. Carol Dweck, and it's really important that you understand this because it impacts our self-esteem and how we see the world. You see, a lot of people are programmed, as Dr. Carol Dweck defines it, as entity learning. That is, IQ is fixed once and for all. So you flunked English in high school, like I came close to many times, and you see yourself all of a sudden saying, man, I will never be good in English. In fact, I will never have the ability to help people author a book. Or you can learn like I did, through the school of hard knocks and tough experiences, that IQ is incremental in nature. In other words, if you understand that, you understand that through the school of hard knocks, through understanding with a new mindset, that you can learn something, that you can perfect something in life. And what are you going to perfect? You are going to perfect the value that you want to put into the marketplace. Now let me share with you the third concept right now around this whole idea of your entrepreneurial balance sheet. And it's this. Actually, it's probably the second concept right now, but let's call it the third. In his book, or in their book, Robert Allen, Mark Victor Hansen, the 1 Minute Millionaire, they talk about the whole idea of creating for yourself a balance sheet. Now, they use a metaphor that we all understand, a balance sheet that has, that's physical, that lists our liabilities and it lists our assets. Now, they argue that there's also an internal balance sheet. That goes on what's up here, what we've learned from here. And I want you to understand this right now because it's really, really, really critical to you moving forward rapidly, and a key concept found in the Author and Grow Rich system. And that is this. that you want to be able to understand that, first of all, you have internal assets, and they must be construed or conveyed to a marketplace that's listening to you. So you want to attract a marketplace that's naturally fit for two things: your passion and your expertise to a hungry market. Now notice they said a hungry market, not just everybody that's out there. More importantly, I want you to understand this, that a lot of marketers, a lot of successful business people will tell you to create a client or customer avatar. What does that mean? It means this, that you describe very specifically who your ideal client is, what their SES is, their social economic status, where they work, what kind of car they drive, etc. I want you to understand one fundamental principle that you will have never heard before, and that is defining your situational avatar. Now you might be saying, Glenn, what do you mean by a situational avatar? I mean this. What were the experiences that your target market had that all of a sudden woke them up at one point in time and said, I have a problem. I'm going to go to the internet, or I'm going to go to this seminar, or I'm going to buy this book, or that book, or listen to this DVD set, or this downloadable MP3. What were those situations? It is imperative that when you're trying to create the proper attraction for the problems that exist in the marketplace, and you have them, that you draw on those correct people. So you want the correct situational avatars tied into your passion, your expertise. We're going to have a lot more to say about this very shortly. In fact, I'm going to show you some, what I've done in live audiences. I'm going to show you from my shower some powerful strategies so that you really get it once and for all. And finally, I want to share with you the second hidden concept that's not found in The Secret. And it is this.